So yeah, this is more of a personal video relating to the subjects which I chose in high school, which prepared me for architecture. So a bit about myself, my name is Kongelani and I'm a third year architecture student. In fact, I just finished my last year of studying at Wits University. And there's quite a lot of things which I've learned during the last 3 years, and I really hope that I can transfer some of the valuable information I've learned so you aren't as lost as I was when I started. Yeah, and I think I should talk about the subjects which I chose in high school. So physical science, I was under the pretense that you needed physical science to get into architecture, but for the university which I went to, it wasn't necessary. But it really made applied mathematics in first year to be easy. It was literally such a breeze. So if you want to have it easy when it comes to maths, I would suggest that you take physical science. So yeah, the next one was history. And I must say that the history teacher which I had was one of the best teachers ever. So I had him from grade 8 until grade 12, and I would say that he taught me a lot about the world. And he equipped me with skills to decipher information, to decipher what is true, what is false. And I think my knowledge or my skills when it comes to understanding why the world is the way it is thanks to him. Like, I think he did a good job. So I think as an architect, you need to understand the world that you live in. And I don't think any other subject is going to be more useful for that besides history. The last subject I chose was visual arts. And I must say that the teacher which I had was probably the most amazing teacher I ever had in my life. Like, I don't think I was ever as close to any teacher as I was to her. Like, she was very loving, she was very caring, and she was very supportive. So maybe that also played a role, but I think art spoke the most about architecture. Like, when it came to understanding Roman architecture, Egyptian architecture, all those sort of things were covered, and also buildings were drawn in art. When it came to the portfolio that I used to apply for architecture in university, I used a lot of work from visual arts, which I did, like architectural drawings. Like, I used to draw a lot of perspective, 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective. Those were very helpful in actually getting me a spot inside Wits University. Like, I remember during my interview, they actually asked me about the work which I did in visual arts. But also on a more philosophical note, I think art speaks about people's lives. And as I said a lot in this video, that architecture is a social degree. And I think art is very useful in terms of understanding people. And when you understand people, you're able to design good buildings. So I think that sort of insight in understanding people's lives and also being able to see different expressions of people and also be able to express yourself, express your ideas, is going to be extremely useful in choosing architecture. So yeah, that's all the subjects covered. And as I said earlier, there's something which you can do if you don't want to study this specific group of subjects. You are free to have any combination of subjects as long as you have mathematics and English. And physical science is something that you need to consider, like, unless you're brave, because top universities, Wits and UCT, don't require you to take physical science. However, you should take note of the fact that only 2% of people get accepted. So it's better to broaden the amount of options that you have by taking physical science. Then when it comes to mathematics, you might not be good at maths. Unfortunately, you won't be able to be an architect, but there are degrees which don't require mathematics, but are very similar to architecture. That's interior architecture or interior design, as most people know it. However, you'll only be able to design the inside of the building, but other than that, it's exactly the same thing. Then, just to close up this video, I just want to give you some advice. So, honestly speaking, what matters the most when it comes to applying for these universities is not the subjects that you choose. Like, of course, make sure you have the necessary mathematics, English, maybe physical science, but that's not what is important. What's important is your APS score. If you feel like you're not going to do well in a specific subject, like, just choose the ones that you can do well in. Because at the end of the day, as soon as you enter university, you're not going to know anything. You're not going to know what's going on. So it's not really that much of a train smash if you don't choose the ones on the top of the list. Like, choose the subjects which are recommended by me. Okay, so yeah, I hope this video was helpful. And if you have any more questions, you can follow and DM me on Instagram at KongelaniN. And if you're interested in finding out how we got into the best architecture university in Africa, please click on this video right here.